Hey guys, Thomas here from Coaster Media, and welcome back to another video. Today I am doing my first park versus park, which is basically comparing two parks to find out which is better. And why not start out with the parks that I currently was at about less than a week ago. So, Kings Island versus Cedar Point. Let's get this started. So the categories I will be doing: large coasters will be worth 3 points. Regular coasters, just coasters, will be worth 2. Extra coasters, well, depends on the category up there. The kid area is worth 5 because that is like very important. Flat rides is 1 per flat ride that wins against the other. Appearance, that is very important. That is worth 5. Operations, super duper important. That is also worth 5. And price, it's pretty important, but when it comes to these two parks, it's not that important because these two parks are really good. So they're both worth paying money. Unlike Six Flags, you don't really want to pay that much because it's not the best. But let's get into it. Let's start out with the hypercoasters. Magnum and Diamondback. Well, Diamondback wins because it's the steel coaster with the most airtime, and is also fast, intense, and has a splashdown. P.S. It doesn't hurt. Magnum has a magic seat. It's okay. It's kind of ugly. It's one of the not good coasters out there. A lot of people hate it, but I didn't actually hate it. I just didn't love it. I didn't like it. I just kind of meh, you know. It was kind of fun at the end, I guess. It was really jerky though. It really takes away from the ride. It could have been so much better if B&M built it, but it was okay. But gotta give it to Diamondback. Sorry, Cedar Point fanboys. All the coasters you're at the beginning here, you're not gonna see very good stuff. Large Woodies, the Beast, and Mean Streak. I'm not even gonna say this. That I will talk about Mean Streak for a second. Mean Streak is painful everywhere except for the front. In the front, it's just boring. So yeah, and the Beast, it just crushes Mean Streak. Sorry guys. Vortex and Corkscrew. Corkscrew is one of the original corkscrewing coasters, while Vortex is a lot newer. It's almost 10, I think it's 11 years newer. Um, so Vortex is definitely better. It has a better layout, has better colors, and it just has awesome inversions. It's not that rough. Corkscrew is looks nicer, like it kind of goes over the midway. That's really awesome, but it's a lot shorter and has really slow operations, and it's just not near as fun. But I definitely did enjoy Corkscrew, I must say, but I like Vortex more. Banshee. This is where Cedar Point fanboys get what they want. Even though the stats are in Banshee's favor, you gotta give it to Raptor, man. Even I know a lot of you guys don't like Raptor, but I really like Raptor. I am not a weakling. I can handle intense rides, and I know how to avoid headbanging. I got 0 headbanging on Raptor because I knew where the turns were, and when you see a turn coming, lean that way, and that way you just go right through it. You know, but if you just sit there, you're gonna get your head slapped around really hard. Also, a reason I don't like Banshee a whole lot, it's just it's too spread out. I like the intense B&M inverts, and it's the restraints on Banshee tend to tighten, and not the vest. The vest is fine, but like it tightens on your legs, and then you lose some feeling in your feet because it's so tight. I just dislike the restraints a lot. And Raptor, it gets a really short line by the end of the day, and I got like 7 rides on it in like less than an hour, so that was awesome. So Cedar Point will be earning 3 points for Raptor. The suspended coasters. Now, on Iron Dragon, I could have fallen asleep. On the Bat, it was fast, thrilling, and swingy, just like always. I mean, yeah. 2 points for the Bat. But as I will say right now, they're testing virtual reality on Iron Dragon. This might take away from the ride even more. Or maybe it'll make it a little bit better, but virtual reality sucks. It slows down the operations. I don't even know why they're doing this. What's the point of having virtual reality? It's just a crappy cartoon that follows the same path the coaster does. I'd rather enjoy the ride than have a big thing on my face that's not even going to work half the time. Anyway, the Bat won. MINETRAINS. Adventure Express is a lot newer, so obviously it's probably going to win. Adventure Express is also my favorite Aero Mine Train because all the older ones just kind of have you spend too much time on the lift hill, and you don't go very fast. But Adventure Express, you're like speeding around under the track and around circles, and you're kind of like in a little valley. I like Adventure Express, so Kings Island will get 2 points. Oh, remind me to add a point at the end of this because I screwed up the scoring. So Cedar Point will have 1 more point than they actually do on the score. Shuttle coasters. In Vertigo, ouch. Wicked Twister, I found it very fun, better than I really thought it would be. And I was in the middle of the train. I think if I was in the front or the back, it would have been really good. So Cedar Point will get another 2 points because this is not a major ride, it's just kind of a ride. Old Woodies, an amazing classic, not bumpy, and you get to race. The Racer. Blue Streak, it was okay. Everyone in my family hated it, but they were on a wheel seat. I was in the middle of a car, so obviously I enjoyed it more than them. But it's just kind of boring. It's kind of like a kiddie ride. It's too short. Like, it's not tall enough. The Racer is at least taller and provides better airtime. Blue Streak, I only got 2 hills that actually had decent airtime. The other ones were just like that hill in the picture. It's like pointy. But it's old, so you gotta give it some credit for still being up and giving sort of thrills. But I gotta give this one to Racer. But this is where the Cedar Point fanboys really get what they want. All of Cedar Point's good rides that everyone talks about are nothing like Kings Island has, which is why they're not in those categories. But when you get to extra coasters, Cedar Point catches up like that. Kings Island has 3 extra rides. Flight of Fear, that's the most major of them all. And then Firehawk and Backlot are just kind of okay. So those will get some points. But for Cedar Point, you notice all these rides are 3-point rides rather than 2-point rides. Except for Rougarou. Rougarou was just okay. But you got Millennium Force. That's my second favorite coaster. Top Thrill Dragstar's one of my favorites. I think it's like probably my 4th. And Maverick is my favorite coaster ever. Rougarou's alright. And Gatekeeper was pretty awesome, I must say. It's worth 3 points. Just like that, Cedar Point is actually winning by 1 point technically. Because I screwed up the scoring a little bit. So everything, no matter what, add a point to Cedar Point. Kings Island has perhaps the best kid area in the world, but Cedar Point has 2 small kid areas, so it keeps the crowds kind of spread out. So keeping the crowds spread out helps keeping the park, kind of spread out. So therefore, both parks will earn a point. But I must say, Kings Island, keep up that good work. You guys have an outstanding kid area. Flat rides. The drop tower at Kings Island is better than the one at Cedar Point. The Dodgem at Kings Island is way better than the one at Cedar Point. So Kings Island will get a point for each of those. But the Windseeker at Cedar Point is so much better. And Cedar Point has 2 vintage cars. They used to have 3, but they don't anymore. And Kings Island got rid of theirs, which they had 2, but I can't give Kings Island the point because they don't have it. So Cedar Point will get 2 points because they have 2 of those. Cedar Point only has 1 Sky Ride now. Kings Island got rid of theirs. Hopefully they get it back someday because the Sky Rides are pretty awesome. But yeah, Cedar Point will be getting 5 points for all their flat rides. Appearance. Kings Island is pretty amazing. The employees really care about the park. But Cedar Point, the employees care about the park about the same amount. But then it's on a huge lake. Look at that picture, man. You can't compare to that. It kicks every park's butt. I'm sorry. Cedar Point gets the point. Go Cedar Point. Alright, operations. This is where I was extremely disappointed with Cedar Point. I was almost crying of how bad it was. Every ride at Kings Island, they're sending trains as quick as they can. Also, Kings Island has very little breakdowns. The only rides that break down is break down sort of a lot, which once a day, if even, is Flight of Fear and Firehawk. Cedar Point, every ride broke down at least once. Raptor, the first time I was there, broke down 5 times the first day. Second time it broke down 3 times. That's ridiculous. I mean, how can you have rides break down that much? Maverick broke down 3 times. I mean, every ride I wanted to ride broke down when I got to it, and it just stunk. Look, I'm glad I had 2 days there so I can get on everything. That's the one downside of Cedar Point. Their rides break down a lot, and the weather conditions are really sensitive there too. So, but I will say something. Blue Streak crew, you guys were horrible. Just saying. I rode Blue Streak once, and it made me not like the ride a lot. It made me hate the ride a lot more. Because the crew, they were dispatching a train every 4 minutes. They were just walking around, chilling, laughing, talking, not caring about people who paid to get into the park and wanted to ride rides. So that really slowed down the line. It should have been a 3-minute line, but it was a 20-minute line. So that's one downside. So Kings Island will be getting the 5 points. So right now the score is 37-33. Price. Kings Island is overall cheaper, so they're going to win. However, first of all, you want to go to both parks. I recommend going to both parks for sure. But Cedar Point costs, however, Cedar Point costs more, but you can do more. Like Cedar Point has way more stuff to do. But the reason I am giving Kings Island the points for sure is because Cedar Point does not have a gold pass, and that is total BS. You have to have a platinum pass, which is like $200 to get the same stuff that you can get with the gold pass at Kings Island. But on the bright side, the platinum pass is good for every Cedar Fair park. It's like a gold pass for every park. But if Cedar Point gets a gold pass, I might actually give them the point, but they don't. So Kings Island definitely gets the point. And the winner is, by only 2 points, is, you guys know who it is, Cedar Point. It was pretty good. I guess, not really blown away. I already had good expectations for Cedar Point. I guess they met them, but they didn't really go over them. Kings Island, I was like, oh yay, I get to go back to Kings Island, my old home park, woohoo. And when I got to Kings Island, I was still blown away. I'm blown away every time I go there. How much better it's getting every year. The ride operators there are so cool. I love talking to them and stuff. Yeah, Cedar Point, it was good. It was good. But congratulations, Cedar Point. You defeated Kings Island. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to post your opinion in the comment below. Not comment section below. I would love to hear your opinions. Just please don't argue or yell or just no hating. I just want to hear your opinions. I want to see what you guys think. I love seeing what other people think of these parks and how they compare to my opinions. And be sure to share with anyone who likes coasters, or your family, or your friends, and like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to turn on notifications, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!